Hi everyone. This is an oat roller, and you're about to see my wife Jen and our three girls. This is Jen, and Ruby, Charlie, and Remy. They're going to create a little installation in the background while I'm doing this talk. This is an oat roller, right? And we use this every morning for our breakfast, and today I'm going to talk about why we use this oat roller for breakfast. We use these groats and do this. So back to this oat roller. Why would I go to all this trouble to roll oats from scratch when I can just go to the shop and buy them? Well, I'm going to explain why. I just can't comprehend that in the West we have compromised almost every single staple food source, from rice, fish, bread, milk. I could do my 10-minute talk on all these foods and just focus on each one of them, but today I'm going to talk about the humble oats. This incredible grain has many brilliant attributes and hasn't changed a lot from its wild form. Let's look at it from a farmer's perspective. It grows fast, quickly outgrowing weeds, so it doesn't need a lot of herbicides, and many farmers don't even bother spraying it with herbicides because it just doesn't need it. On our family farm, my brothers use it to rejuvenate soils. It grows really well in poor soils, so it's really almost a perfect crop in a crop rotation. They're almost always grown organically, so even if they're not certified, that's how robust they are. So why are oats so good to eat? Oats have more fibre than any other grain. And why is this important? Well, once you understand that a bowl of refined grain or a bowl of or a slice of white bread takes your gut about 20 minutes to turn into glucose, and a bowl of whole grain and a slice of whole grain bread takes your gut about 5 to 6 hours to turn into glucose, you start to understand why we all crave sugar so much and why we have these fluctuating energy levels during the day. Also, cultures that have high fibre diets have much lower incidences of cancer, diabetes, heart disease. And a lot of other modern diseases are now also linked with low rates of fibre in our diet. Oats are also the only grain that contains globulin, which is a protein, a legume-like protein. And the World Health Organization states that the protein of oats is equal in quality to eggs, meat, and dairy. And one serve in the morning will give you a third of your daily requirement. Not a bad start to the day. I actually see this humble grain as a superfood. We source it from Reese and Dale, who carefully grow it as part of a biodynamic crop rotation and grow many other crops like millet, rye, wheat, and legumes, and plant oats after 3 to 4 years of sheep grazing on their land. This is why oats, their oats especially, are the bomb. We love them. So I look at this bag of grain like the shelves of a local chemist. It's not only loaded with energy, fibre and protein, but dozens of both fatty and amino acids, as well as calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, zinc, vitamins like B1, B2, B3, folate. If all this is available from store-bought oats, so why do we go to the trouble of rolling them ourselves? Well, for me, it started with a book I found in a second-hand bookstore written by Dr. Johann Schnitzer. He had discovered, working as a dentist in the late 50s and early 60s, that people consuming raw and fresh-milled grains didn't suffer from tooth decay or poor jaw development. In other words, they didn't need braces. I've since met many different people from all over the world and shared experiences, like Wolfgang Mock, this legendary guy from Germany, who'd linked food with depression and in the late 1960s used fresh rolled oats to change and improve the suicidal mental state of some prisoners. Maximilian Bircher, his original cure-all was a tablespoon of freshly crushed raw oats, some yogurt, and grated apple. He would be turning in his grave if he knew that the Western world is marketing Bircher muesli as dead, denatured food. It is dead and denatured. So how can oats act like an antidepressant and improve cognitive ability? Oats sourced from farmers that have healthy soil, practice good crop rotation, have soils loaded with microbes, bacteria, and mycelium. Scientists are now only starting to discover that these have a direct effect on our mental health. Scientists fed rats soil, and they were able to navigate a maze in half the time and with less noticeable anxiety than the rats not given soil. They have now isolated a specific bacteria as being responsible, but I believe we know so little about what goes on in the soil that we will spend the next 1,000 years discovering more and realize it's much more complex than an isolated bacteria. A tablespoon of healthy soil contains more life than people living on this planet. By us consuming raw oats every morning, we are also getting the valuable oils that surround the nutrient-loaded germ without any loss of vitality, but we are also consuming all the microbes and bacteria that come with whole grains. This, I believe, is the reason why they are so beneficial to us. For most in the Western world, eating store-bought cereal, this is where the benefits stop. I think our appetite for easy, fast oats has actually deprived us of this grain's finest attributes. And I see this particular whole grain as a capsule filled with life. The world's most perfect protective coating, a fibre-loaded husk, protects the germ, which is surrounded by a coating of oils that are rich in omega-3s and phytonutrients and living bacteria. It's quite amazing that nature has created the perfect coating that allows this grain to be stored for even thousands of years without any loss of vitality. When crushing or rolling grain, its valuable contents are exposed to oxygen, and within minutes, the oils start to oxidize and go rancid. This is why we roll our oats fresh every morning. You may think buying packaged pre-rolled oats are good, but this process called denaturing means grains are heat-treated to enable them to be stored on the shelves, and they are, I just think it's dead food, and it's a sad alternative. So let's look at this bag of oats and how my obsession with zero waste is connected to this. When we migrated from Holland, I was 9. I quickly changed my breakfast habits from bread to cereal. Actually, I brought a box of this cereal. This is the first time I bought it in a long time, but that's what I ate for about 10 years. So what does that have to do with zero waste? Well, if our family of 5 had continued this habit, in just 5 years, this is how many boxes of cereal we would consume. 750 boxes of cereal over 5 years, costing us $6,000 and generating a shitload of waste. I'm standing on the equivalent here, or I've actually put them here. That's the equivalent of eating them like this. And for some reason, we go through 4 or 5 of these bags every year. I never have bags lying around because the kids use them for projects or somebody steals them because they love them. So in all, we use between 4 and 5 bags a year, so it costs us $750 over 5 years. Combined with ethically sourced fresh fruit and our weekly milk, which we get like this, and we just give the farmer back his bottles and he refills them back up. We generate virtually no waste having breakfast every morning. So now I'm going to talk about the craziest thing about all of this, what I've just told you. I have a good friend who grows oats for Uncle Toby's. Last year, he got paid $340 a tonne for growing oats. That works out to 30 cents that he got paid for the grain in this box. If you went and bought most other grains, most grains are traded for between around the same price. So your 30 cents, he's getting $340 a tonne. And it's not enough. We buy this direct from the farmer, and we pay $37 a bag for this stuff, sometimes $35, but it's around that, which works out to $3,700 a tonne. So, I don't know what you think, but I think this is pretty crazy, right? This loaf of bread here, the farmer got paid 20 cents for the grain in this bread. What's bread made from? Wheat. Well, it should just be wheat. Another friend of mine grows potatoes for McCain's. The farmer got 8 cents for the potatoes in this bag, which I paid $4.50 for this morning. 8 cents to the farmer for what is this product? It's made from potatoes. In our current system, we get dead, denatured food that not only costs us and the environment a fortune, it's also grown by farmers that are barely able to make a profit, meaning there are always compromises, pressures on yield, not able to rest soils, and a massive use of synthetic fertilizers. A third of the world's gas is used to grow crops, and it's a synthetic fertilizer that I believe is also killing the microbes in the soil. Food grown this way is making us sick. So thanks to new technology like Google and YouTube, all of you can actually go on the internet and connect with people that are growing food. Pay them properly for food that's grown properly. This guy deserves to get $3,000 a tonne for his grain. And by getting $3,000 a tonne, he can grow 10 times less. And it means that he can crop rotate properly and rest his soils properly and bring livestock into the equation. And all of a sudden, we get much more nutrients in our food as well. Nutrient-dense food is so important in our lives. And if you think that Weston Price in the late 1930s observed that the average American got 1/8 of the amount of nutrients of what primitive, healthy people did, what do you think we're getting today? I think that we need to solve this problem, and it's up to you guys. You can use technology, and it seems so simple to me. Make a change. Thank you.